All right, so the beginning of our spoiler run here this week begins now with spoilers from Ryotukya or Ryotukya, whatever, for Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 72. Now, I have translations courtesy of DBS Chronicles. I do want to say, though, these are very early spoilers, very, very early, and they're a bit cryptic. Whenever this Ryotukya guy says something, I always tend to be very skeptical, not because I think he's lying or anything like that, but because he posts things that are so cryptic that when you actually get to the chapter, you often wonder what the hell he was talking about. But other times, he's been spot on. So, difficult to say. So, we're going to go into some of these early spoilers. I'm expecting us to get a few more in the next couple of days. Of course, the chapter will be out in 2 days anyway, so I'll have a review up for you guys. But let's get into this. So, Ryotukya says this. Now, we have to talk about this here because it's very interesting as far as what's going to happen in Dragon Ball Super Chapter 72. We know that Granolah will be confronting Goku and Vegeta in this chapter, and we know the Heaters are on planet Cereal trying to get the Dragon Balls to fulfill their sinister motives. And he basically says, according to what Chronicles wrote, first two lines are like this: who can lose twice in one chapter, lol. He's got skills of Kenshiro. Now, for those who don't know, Kenshiro is the main protagonist of Fist of the North Star, one of the most influential and popular manga in Japan, and a pretty popular manga and anime here. You know, Fist of the North Star inspired a lot of shonen, including a lot of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Especially the early stuff was inspired by Kenshiro and Fist of the North Star. So I wonder what he means by that, because Kenshiro has a lot of different skills. So I wonder if they're actually going to rip off a move from him or what. Now it says here, who can lose twice in one chapter. Now, that's interesting to me because the only person who I can see, now again, this is my guess, the only person who I can see losing twice would be Granolah, right? He loses to Goku, loses to Vegeta. Who can lose twice in one chapter? Now, if you're wondering, but Geekdom, how can this guy lose twice if he's the strongest in the universe? Remember, he made that wish months ago, or some time ago, that is. Maybe not months, but he made that wish some time ago. There was time skip, and that may have allowed Goku and Vegeta to surpass him. Also remember that just because you're the strongest does not mean you're the best martial artist. So if Goku is fighting this guy, and even if Goku is a tad bit weaker than him, right? A tad bit weaker, if Goku uses the Ultra Instinct or just uses his skills, he might still be able to beat him. You know, and then the whole lesson could be the same thing that Goku tried to tell Granolah. Have you ever trained? Remember that? I'm sorry, Moro. Remember he told Moro that? Have you ever trained? So it could be a thing where this guy Granolah thinks that he's the strongest ever, and then he goes up against Goku, and Goku just embarrasses him because he's a better martial artist. You know, so it's one of those things where I'm gonna hold reservation till I see how it plays out. I'm not gonna judge it, but just know that if Granolah loses, number one, it's not gonna be easy, and number two, it's not necessarily a bad thing because of what I just told you. You know what I mean? Plus, if he's gonna fight Goku and Vegeta, you're gonna lose 2-on-1, bro. Now again, I think it'll be 1-on-1, but I also think that this is going somewhere. You know, this is not just gonna be the end of the story right here. Obviously, we have a lot left, and I want to tell everybody to please withhold reservation. Let's see what happens. Just because, you know, you can criticize what happens, but you never know what they have planned. You know what I mean? We can't criticize the future yet because we don't know what's gonna happen. Now, moving on, he also says, the third line means XX, which is somebody he doesn't want to reveal, is a well-informed person. I don't want him to end up having a small role of a commentator explaining the background. Again, translations are a bit wonky there, but basically XX is somebody in this chapter who seems to have knowledge, but this guy, Ryotukya or whatever, he doesn't want him to end up having a small role. So the person who I can think of that he's talking about is Alec, because Alec does not appear to be a warrior, but Alec does appear to be a well-informed person. Now, I could be wrong. He may be referencing the Namekian from the Namekian from Planet Cereal, right? He might be referencing him, but at the same time, I feel like it probably is Alec, and I think he's worried that Alec might not have a big role, and that Alec might just help the heaters out and then let them do the battling, you know. Which honestly, that's not that bad because they've already somewhat established that Alec is not really like a major warrior, that he's not like gas and oil, and they seem to be more warrior types. He's more of a manipulator. So ultimately, you know, him being the mastermind behind the scenes, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Also, I guess one could maybe assume he's talking about 7-3, but personally, I don't think it's 7-3 because 7-3 has not been seen in this arc since the very beginning, and I don't think they're going to bring 7-3 in this early. I think that if they are going to bring him in to do what Old Pie and I theorized a couple weeks ago in our videos about how actually about 3 weeks ago I did a video on it about how 7-3 is the real villain of this arc, and that they're going to transfer the powers onto him. If they're going to do that, I would presume it would be later. But you have to also remember that the heaters are there on Planet Cereal right now, and they may end up getting their wish. I don't think they're going to summon the dragon this chapter. I don't think that's going to happen. I could be wrong. I don't have the chapter in front of me. In fact, I'm not sure if we're ever going to get leaks. Like, we're going to get them in the next 48 hours, and if we don't, then we're not going to get them at all because I'm not sure how many we're going to get. Because every month, like, when it comes to the leakers, every month differs. You know what I mean? It depends on whether or not they can get the magazine early. That's what it comes down to, because it doesn't hit shelves till 20th, 19th, or 21st in Japan. So 20th for us. So be aware of that. We'll see. I mean, we may actually get the chapter right before it comes out. Who knows? Who really knows? But nonetheless, I still feel like he's probably talking about Alec, not 7-3. So I wanted to clarify that point. Don't forget to leave a like, by the way. So if I get any more spoilers tonight, I will do a video, obviously, and cover that. We may get a couple of images here and there. We may get the whole summary. Usually tomorrow. You know, it depends. But I'll do the best that I can. And, of course, I'll have the review up on Thursday, as always, here on the channel. So thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great day. And also, let me know in the comments, who do you think the well-informed person is? I really want to know because I'm thinking, racking my brain. And who do you think can lose twice in one chapter? I mean, Granola's fighting two guys, so I think it's him. But could it be Vegeta? Could it be Goku? Are they going to fight multiple times? What do you think is going on? Let me know. I'll talk to you soon.